Howdy, gang. Welcome back. We're going to continue going with the Disco Elysium. This will probably be our final hour for the night, though.
There are four in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? Is it?
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight. That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Let on me take.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
It's not child's play, just because I have to trade through the mud every so often. Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. Sure. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
And that's always possible.
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the Phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places. No, very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
It is a dust.
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection. Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo Grad, who is, Honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. In fact, it is 0.05%. Ever more magnificent, should our search contribute to making that number 0.075%.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is...
Yes? All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites. We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters. Or whatever.
Yes, back to cryptozoology. You don't want to sow disagreement between friends.
Okay, I know about the most dangerous cryptid.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
Living? No?
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose. Yes, the dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Does it also attack people?
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will. Just like an ordinary Arden moose. You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more. The recent surge in the moose population has hidden carnivores. The dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins. Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators? The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection. It makes sense that such a majestic animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long. One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance. The moose would just stare at the building, as though they were waiting for something. Its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty.
The census.
And that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass.
This isn't something unique. Various species of deer have been known to scavenge when plant food is scarce.
Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
Here is a man who has had more than his fair share of heated arguments and would, surprising as it may seem, prefer not to have any more.
Okay. The joint of coconut.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
No.
Of course you haven't. I haven't had a chance to travel to Coco North. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes, sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
Okay, carry back there.
Oh, everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok. A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal, who knows. When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ok hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
Okay, when did she
Oh,
disappear?
decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side. A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
What about what are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees. They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Hey, Chow Nick. Love some willow walkers. Yeah, it's wild stuff, these descripted stuff. So I may have seen these willow people without knowing
You
it.
probably have. Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove. I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic. Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Okay, tell me about a cool one.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Okay, I think we're done with this guy.
By all means.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta.
The what?
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow. The vows are blood and flesh. Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
What's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems? Quit stalling, Bruta. We're talking about the weakest, worst, most insane thing. The weak link.
Financiers.
Yes, them. But also, Women. Women. Men of Wu. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Wu men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what
Harsh
fascism
words.
boils down to. The rest is all. You're going to keep your views, right?
No,
There's a
we'll
slow,
not those.
painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver.
Woman.
It is one of betrayal and disappointment.
We're not gonna do that. Okay, we can talk to Gary though.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
No problem.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Oh, you're racist as well.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about.
It really isn't.
After a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here. Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revachol.
He pronounces Revachol with a hard K, unlike other people.
The hair K.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
Yep.
So you do know something about it.
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange.
My mug? Why would you think that?
His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, all right?
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry,
Get him.
officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I am actually, yeah. Won't go to maximum, we'll go to middle.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Sure, Gary.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why
So
would you
I
need
can
that?
use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what happens?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
Oh,
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
Hmm.
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
really, Gary? I don't trust you very much.
There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way. No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own. Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
Yep.
Well, this is that racist.
Are you, Gary?
Hey, man, all I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact. No problem at all.
Oh, shit.
Always I mean, officers.
Okay, composure. Let's see if we can do a composure. We do have a level up. I'll look at the clothes first. Sure, we've nothing doing negative composure. Okay. Yeah, that
Always
helps.
a pleasure to see. I mean, officers.
42. Can we try? Yeah, let's roll it.
Is he?
No.
He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Those prayer beads I could
I don't pray, officer. Faith in non-existent helpers is a sign of weakness. Not for proper Revicolian men such as ourselves.
Okay. That seems to be it for up there. I want to go back to the other one and we'll try, I think it's a suggestion check. papers.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, suggestion as well. Let me check the clues real quick. Alright. We're good. We'll just have to give it a
Our
go.
tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you?
Logic and
Got her.
reason won't work on this old bat. Better go for shameless emotional manipulation. What's the grandmother's deepest vulnerability?
What do you mean? What's going to happen? We are gonna grow up, of course. I raised my own kids in this village and they are doing fine for themselves.
Must be super.
They are good kids. I brought them up the right way. No, they moved to Faubourg for work. Well, I imagine they'll grow up and leave too.
You've got her. Now just reel her in.
They
Then,
must.
Wait. Let her come to it herself.
I don't believe the Fat Man's Youth Center is going to change anything. But what other choice do we have? It's not like the coalition government is coming to save us. I won't be around much longer anyway. Not with the dampness in my bones. If they want to take a chance, who am I to stop them? Did you say something?
Reluctantly, she takes the pen from your hand, scribbles her name on the line, and hands everything back to you.
See that you didn't just get us all screwed. I might be half blind, but I have a good memory for treachery.
Let's go mail it.
Okay, I'll go back up this way where I was exploring. What are we looking at here? Okay, so this is a church, apparently. Did I catch money? Nice. Okay, let's go into the church before we get exploring down here. Bloody buckaroos.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. For Revachol aussi, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment. Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here.
Your hands are clenched in the sea air. The piece of sticker keeps slipping away. The lieutenant hands you a blue handkerchief. He looks a little dismayed when he gets it back crumpled. However, it should be there's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day.
Oh, Mr. Private.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you.
Ooh.
The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to
Just
the padlock.
even.
Kid,
Look at
you
where
jam
we
the
go.
pry bar
We're
between
in.
the lock and the staple and apply force. Your biceps bulge from the strain. The metal creaks and squeals. The pathetic old wood, rusty screws, and one nail stand no chance against the forces of leverage. From deep within, a bellow rips. Suddenly, the pry bar snaps. Metal shavings fly everywhere. The upper half, between the lock and the staple, falls to the ground with a thunk. The broken edge of the snapped pry bar is smooth. Took the tip right off.
This is
Tools break,
impossible.
officer. Try to control yourself. I don't know. You don't? Or maybe we'll find a new one. I don't carry more than one pry bar with me. I thought this was a lousy way to enter a place of worship that's already in disrepair. I guess the church agreed.
This was surely just a freak accident.
Yeah.
Heavy wooden doors. More than nothing happens. Only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
This cheap looking, it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. It'll be easier to break the padlock passes should you want to get through.
You really want us in there? I do have tools in the kinema. But maybe we should circle the building and look for another way in first.
Fine. There is another way in. There is not one I can see. Oh well.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
It's military. A service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay.
Okay.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring. The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze, weighed down by rain. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
It'll be in the next one,
Surely.
surely.
Anyway, the air is nice and fresh here.
Oh, scented scarf. Okay. Oh, kind of explored it this way, so. Seeing what there is to see. Game, be out of here. Bum. What we might do is we might head back the way we need to explore around here more, but we could head back to town and talk to Everett. Or we could go in here.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Who are you gonna call?
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Fuck it.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
No, this is not
Do
Pierre.
you have any news about Pierre? Sure you do. No one has anything nowadays. You're either a salesman or a statistician of some kind. I am not interested in cooperating. To hell with the police. To hell with you.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
Okay, that was random. What's going on up here? Big wine canister. Jesus, that is a big one.
The smell. It's awful and familiar. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. The signs of decaying meat. It announces itself from 24 meters away. A warning. A memento mori. The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads
God, a kebab would be
Shish
good.
Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
That's the way I want to go out. Traces of kebab sauce on my chest.
The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Oh, a few lads like this. I mean, probably when I was younger, but I've definitely fallen asleep eating a kebab once and woke up in the morning covered in
There's some dried
mess.
blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist.
Okay.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
No.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
Rubowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
At least this man knew how to party. Imagine the same scene without the bottle. Now that would be just sad. This is an omen,
Fair.
a sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
Okay.
We do know that he was married. But you're right. Let's not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What do you think, Kim?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the parks.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
He was obviously drunk, and I don't think it's related to the lynching.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. But from where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
We'll take it.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Don't.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period. The youth center cuts into the library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78,
I can
Jamrock.
ring the library.
Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Alright. Cute. Where's going here? Not really. Okay, we're gonna run back towards town. When will this let me call the library?
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
Let's just dial a random number. Oh, we have a level. And for once, we don't actually immediately need anything. So we might do a toss. What have we learned though? Finger guns. Definitely deadly finger guns. Alright, all we're really gonna do for today is... That's others crap. It's just there. We've plenty of exploring around here to do yet though.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But the reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake in the lazily falling rain. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Alright, be back to that. So I'm just gonna run up to Everett and leave it there, because I want to remember to talk to him now that we got the signatures when we're back next time, so... We'll make our save outside where he is. We've got people to... We've a good bit of shit to do here yet, I feel. We'll get back over there. At some point. That'll have to be next time. In terms of coming back to this, we'll certainly be back to it. I'm not sure, let me think now. There won't be any stream tomorrow night. Friday... Probably not either. Saturday, Sunday... I want to start into the Sonic X Shadow Generation stuff over the weekend for sure. We might play some of this over the weekend though. Not really sure. We'll definitely be back to it next.
The payphone hangs mutely on the wall. There isn't much more to do here.
I don't want the payphone, I wanted that. Alright, and this is where we'll make a save. Save over this one, I guess, the oldest one. And we'll wrap up there for tonight. I think we got a fair whack done, I feel like, today. Yeah, looking forward to getting back to that. I feel like we're feel like we're trucking along nicely. Disco E. We have our police ID now. It's almost like we're a real policeman. Okay. Console off. That's what I'm trying to remember to do. And we'll go to this scene. A bit of music going. I think our last thing to do before we wrap up, we'll have a quick whiskey, and I'll probably send you over to good friend Violet. I did buy a new bottle of whiskey today, so well, this is the last one, so now I have to get my supplies built back up to 5 eventually. I'll get the whiskey bowls back one of these days. We're keeping our boy Harry sober, but that doesn't mean we have to be. Although one whiskey before going to bed isn't gonna do too much other than bring sleep on a bit quicker. Here's the Disco Elysium. It was fun today. Look forward to getting back to it. Cheers. Clink. Do the usual schedule-y stuff. Everhood we have finished, and Streams at Gecko are on a break for a little bit. Wish Gecko all the best with his surgery, of course, 37. He'll be back with us in no time, I'm sure. Yeah, Disco Elysium remains ongoing. Brave Fencer Musashi we will probably start next week. Lost Ember, Max Payne 2, Zork 1 and 2, and I think we're due to pull something for the council into the upcoming games next, so we'll see what that is at some stage. We'll see what that is. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Darkman. Thank you, everyone, for being here as always. Appreciate the hell out of Ollies. Oh, I know because I mod for Violet that you can't use the bonk raids. Her bot doesn't like it. I use the Verica ones. You can use the first one if you're sub, the second one if you're not, or if you just prefer it. Do show Violet some love. Violet's wonderful. Long-time friend of mine on Twitch. Discord for any other updates, and the archive channel I should chill a bit more to. Elden Ring is going up there at the moment, putting up 2 parts of it a day for the next while till they're all up, and then after that, I don't know, we'll get the Final Fantasy VII in a single sitting will go up, Deadly Premonition will go up, Disco Elysium will go up eventually, Everhood, everything goes up there. There's like, I haven't counted, but I think there's like 100, or no, I have counted, there's 180 something playthroughs up there, over 150. I think, as I say, we'll hit 200 in no time. That'll do it though, gang. Do go say hello to Violet if you're so inclined. Other than that, be good, be kind, be nice to each other. Think about what you put out into the world. Make it a better place, and I won't see you all tomorrow, but I'm sure I'll see you really soon.